Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy AAL coming back again with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons saga drama continues. Now, if you guys don't know what's been going on, basically, Ben Simmons and the Sixers have come to kind of like a standstill where the Sixers, they want to trade Ben Simmons, but trying to get, high value assets for him. And Ben Simmons has just decided to just say that he doesn't want to play anymore. He's not going to play. And as a result of that, as a result of that, been kind of going back and forth. You know, Sixers have been fining Simmons for missing games he's not supposed to be missing. Then they stopped fining him because of mental health issues, things like that. Basically, after what happened last season with the Hawks, things like that, Simmons got called out, and he just decided he didn't want to play for the Sixers anymore. He came out with a comment. He said he would never play for the Sixers, and the Sixers were like, okay, let's trade him. They still haven't traded him yet. So I watched this video, little reaction. Stephen A, Jalen Rose, you know, them talking about what's been going on with Ben Simmons, and I'll talk about who's really at fault in this situation and how it can be fixed. So yeah, let's get right into the video.
Team physicians on his mental health and fulfills other basketball-related obligations. So, Stephen A., what do the Sixers need to do now?
I think they need to get rid of him as quick as they possibly can, and they should have done it this summer. The man told you he doesn't want to be there. You don't force a man to come and be there because that could be cancerous to your locker room. I certainly understand that, you signed a contract, you're owed $147 million over the next 4 years, you just signed a deal last year, et cetera, et cetera. I get all of that. You're not in the wrong. But in the end, when you're a championship contender and you know that this person has the potential to have that kind of a detrimental effect on your franchise, you do what you can to get assets for him. You don't stick around and just hold on to him and think that that's going to elevate his value, because it's not, clearly.
4 years left on his deal. So any player that's unhappy in his situation then could just walk in and do that and get out of where he wants to be?
And that's what, Stephen A., I'm going to give you credit for this. When you said over the summer, owners are going to come, this is going to come to a head. Right. Where owners are going to say, wait a minute, you just signed, you're a year into this? Right. Okay, all true. But the 76ers have a different profile, and there's some unique set of circumstances which you know better than the rest of us because you've lived there so long. He can't come back there and play and function in Philadelphia. I don't believe.
You can't.
So this notion that you can't get back role players who can help you, the 76ers are tied for the best record in the East right now. Think of how much better they could be looking in their forecast
that is true.
if they had traded Simmons even for 70 cents on the...
Yeah, the Sixers are actually doing really nice this season, surprisingly. And Joel Embiid is not really putting up numbers. He's really not putting up numbers like that. Tobias Harris, I believe he's injured right now. Yeah, the Sixers are actually doing really, really good. They still have Thibault. They got Maxey. They got Korkmaz. Now they lost Dwight Howard. There's not really too many big names on the Sixers right now. But they're still doing really well without Ben Simmons. And the main problem with the Sixers not trading Ben Simmons is that they want to get valuable assets from other teams. But if you look at your current team right now, it would seem like that Simmons isn't really missed like that. So with that information, you got to come to a decision.
Let's not talk about the Sixers' regular season record because the process is going in the opposite direction.
That's right.
Of the Eastern Conference standings, right? And basically what he's doing is showing his power by sabotaging the situation. And we're not going to overlook mental health in any way, shape, or form.
That's right.
So the only way you could trade an all-NBA caliber player is for us to see him again. We're going to have to see him in uniform again.
Not true.
We saw the last time we saw him, he scored 0 points against the Hawks. He didn't come to training camp. He didn't come at the beginning of the season. He said he had a back issue. They can't move him until the rest of the team.
Can you really see
That's
him
not
out
true.
there, Jalen?
Him so that
The Sixers from blame.
That's not true. That's not true, man. The Sixers have had ample time to trade him. Plenty of time to trade him. That was the part. That's the part I want you guys to see. The Sixers had plenty of time to trade Ben Simmons, whether it was from last season, to this summer, to the beginning of the season. plenty of trade offers. They just decided not to pull the trigger. Now, here's the thing, right? Jalen said that you can't move him because he hasn't played. You haven't seen him in training camp or anything like that. That's not true. You can trade a player anytime you want to. If it's before the trade deadline, you can do it. You know what I mean? The Sixers have just decided not to do it because they want high value assets. Now here's the thing, right? I don't know if you guys remember this, but last season, I believe it was before the trade deadline, when James Harden was going to the Nets, there was a deal for the Sixers to get James Harden. It was going to be, we'll give you Ben Simmons for James Harden. Guess what the Sixers obviously decided not to do? They didn't make that trade. Now, during that time, Ben Simmons was balling. He was hooping. Well, he wasn't hooping, but he was playing. You know what I mean? He was playing how Ben Simmons usually plays. You know what I mean? But it obviously backfired since the playoffs happened and summer happened, free agency happened. It obviously backfired. So the problem with the Sixers and their mistake, they're thinking this is Ben Simmons of last season. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, you're not going to get valuable assets for Ben Simmons now. It's not going to happen. I would say pick your best option, whatever you can get, and make that deal. Because the Sixers are on a roll right now. Do not mess that up. Why would you want to have this drama hanging over the team's head for so long? Why would you want to do that to your players? Your players deserve better. Get rid of Ben Simmons. I know you're paying him a lot of money and everything, but it's not worth all this. Just because he's getting paid a lot of money does not mean he's worth a Damian Lillard, a James Harden, a Bradley Beal. You know what I mean? He's put himself in a position where now he's worth a Kyle Kuzma or a Rajon Rondo or something like that. Solid players, but not all-star caliber players. So, in my opinion, the people who are at fault in this situation, uh, it's tricky because Ben Simmons not really handling this professionally. He's acting like a kid. He's acting like a kid at this point. But as an organization, you have to make that decision. What's going to benefit the team? Now, mind you, you're going to get assets from Ben Simmons, draft picks, good solid players and everything. Obviously, you don't want that nice to Joel Embiid. You want good, like all stars. You have to understand, you're not going to get that, bro. You're not going to get that. You have to get what you're going to get. Because right now, what you have is Ben Simmons taking up all the cap space. Space. Locker room drama, organization drama. I mean, that's going to hang over your head for the whole season. Why would you want that? Be done with him. Get rid of him. Care less. It is what it is. You fumbled. Fumbled big by not getting James Harden. That would have been an amazing duo to have Harden and Joel Embiid. I get it. Simmons, he's on paper, he looks like he can be the next best thing. You know what I mean? And he's not a bust. He's clearly still developing. But you have a situation like the Sixers are in right now, where he's not even playing, where you have to basically baby him to the point where you're finding him every single game. This isn't even what the whole Kyrie Irving situation is. That's a whole nother situation. Where you have to find him every single game that he does not play, bro. This is unnecessary drama. Trade him. Don't put yourself in a position when the trade deadline hits, and now you cannot trade this man anymore. What are you gonna do then? Wait till the summer? You know what I'm saying? You can't. He's not a free agent for the next 4 years. So yeah, honestly, I think the Sixers fumbled on this. We're just going to have to see what happens during the season if he comes back. If he comes back, the Philly Sixers fans, they're not going to accept him. They're not going to accept him back unless he's averaging like 30, 10, and 10, 100%. He has to be hooping, like balling for him, for the Sixers fans to take him back, accept him, respect him, all like that, which is not going to happen. So we'll see what happens later in the future. Um, if he does get traded, uh, if he does get traded, I think he'll get better. But at the same time, yeah, if the Sixers do trade him, I believe all this drama would just blow over. I mean, this situation is kind of in the like the shadow. Nobody's really talking about it right now, but it's still drama hanging over the team. First thing you think about when you think about the Sixers is Ben Simmons. So, Philly, make a decision now. And yeah, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, peace.